Trotsky, a helpful friend, holding the castle fort while you consider.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jean Turner. I'm going to be your tarot and Lenormand reader. This is Leanne, and she's going to be reading the AI. And you're going to be hearing from Scott, the producer, and Alicia, the executive producer. And how I got into tarot reading in the first place was when I was just doing my A levels.
In the school library, there was a shelf called Psychology, and within the Psychology, there are books about tarot. Reading them, I got slightly addicted actually. All my A levels were average, so I decided to go into a secretarial course. At the time, I really enjoyed the shorthand. Then I did a business course and various psychology courses and eventually an NLP course. I did eventually go to work, and after a few years, I was working so hard that my brain actually blew up.
I was giving a presentation, and it was as though someone had walked into the presentation and shot me in the head. And my head just blew up basically. I lost the powers in my left brain, which is
Where we process speech. It then turned out the right hand brain was not flooded with blood and able to function some kind of meaning in the pictures of tarot.
tarot actually did help me to recover because I was actually able to communicate with the pictures in a way that I hadn't been able to communicate before. So if somebody came in and although they were talking to me and I didn't have the word capacity because my left brain wasn't working at all. I had the capacity to understand because I understood the pictures.
It's quite interesting because I mean, she's always been a little bit into tarot and meditation, and she's played down over the years, the spiritualism that she experienced, but her work was her primary commitment.
Mm.
Her children and her work were her everything, and the dog and cat.
Yeah.
And then when she had nothing left except her children, what did she have left that she could turn to?
Yeah.
And how could she communicate without when nothing was working for her?
We've made incredible games with it, haven't we?
Yeah,
Sort of
really
like
good games.
really good games. And sometimes we've even found that when Leanne reads the AI or anybody else reads the AI, we can listen to what the AI is saying.
It also stops us from falling down rabbit holes.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
we will know, if it's personal and we've asked the question, we will we will make our own presumptions on what the cards are saying.
Mm.
So the AI will stop us. It will say, "This is what you're looking at," and we'll go, "Oh yeah, all right then, fine."
And sometimes they talk absolute sense, and sometimes I just totally ignore them. And we've found that the cards have really helped us a lot, and they're incredibly accurate. We usually use Lenormand Yes or No anyway questions, don't we? But
Lenormand seems to be a bit more masculine anyway in its responses, doesn't
it
it? Whereas
does,
tarot is
yeah.
a little bit more
Well,
feminine.
I mean, because Lenormand tends to be very linguistic and very right brain.
So these particular questions have come from various events and parties where Jean has used this as like a party game, and we found them in a drawer. So we don't remember who gave the questions. We don't remember the answer to the questions, as they're completely random. So these were a really good example of how this works.
And we're dealing with a playing card deck because originally, years and years ago, they were playing cards. And so all through the centuries, we're talking about going back 2,000 years, when you're not allowed to be Christian or you're not allowed to be a druid or you're not allowed to be something or the other, they would make picture cards and share it with each other like a business card showing if I name one, it would be fishes, two fish.
So, two fish would be the business card that would show that they were Christians. So, here are some of the cards we found. with the questions that we found as well.
So what is my lucky number? I'm going to have
Leanne is choosing one card from the tarot deck and then one card from the Lenormand deck.
that one.
Oh, so that's 9 of cups. And so 9, and then that's on tarot. And then what does Lenormand say, Leanne?
What is my lucky number? Oh, that one too.
And strangely enough, I won't actually say what it is because otherwise it's like I'm making it up. But that's 9. So the lucky number is 9.
Okay, let's take a picture and see what AI does.
Do you want to choose another one?
So let's go for this card here. And this card says, am I a real person or is this an animation?
Okay, so I want to ask the cards to tell us, are we living in an animation?
Yeah, sure.
I'm using Lenormand, and I'm just going to choose it as a yes/no question.
So am I asking, am I a real person?
No,
Or are we in an animation? So I'm going to think about the actual question as I pick the cards.
yeah.
I'm not going to shuffle. I mean, you can if you really want to think about it and bed it in, but I'm just going to pick them. I'm going to sort of, as I go through them, as I think of the question, as one, says to me, oh, I want to be picked. That's the one I'm going to pick. So I'm going to have that one as number 1, 12 the birds. I'm going to have, the next card in the pack, which is 7 snake. And the last one is 8 coffin.
Okay, now I do need to explain a little bit here. We've actually put together a yes/no list, and so each card is a yes, no, or a neutral. And what this is, the birds is a neutral card, and actually it's listed. The snake, which is a no card, clover, which is the yes card. So if I put the yes cards up there, then, and anchor, which is the yes card, and coffin, which is a no card. So we have 2 no's and 2 yeses and 1 neutral, telling us that that's actually not the right question. Now, this is where Lenormand will start to get fed up with us if we keep asking the same sort of question. I mean, it's simple to me. It's either a yes or a no, sort of a real world, or it's somebody's just made it as someone else's story.
Do you want to hear what AI says?
Yeah.
Yes, you are in an animation.
Really?
It said the birds and snakes say active discussion, tension, politics, gossip, strategic behaviour around the situation. Although this reads more like yes, but not straightforwardly. There is movement towards stability, but something connected to the current structure, role, or process appears to need to close out or shift first.
That's really interesting because, I mean, it just shows you that Lenormand is refusing to answer that question. Another thing that we actually found when we've got the 2 yes and 2 no's that we shouldn't be asking. So he's basically saying mind your own business. Well, that's one of the things that we found. I mean, that's not actually in the book, just says yes or no. But when we get 2 yeses, 2 no's, so it's equal, we have to have the 1 neutral, just say.
Next question. Will I be successful in my hobby? Star sign Pisces.
It's interesting. Should we just ask a straight list or line question? 5 cards.
My star sign is Pisces, and I had to work really hard to remember if that was me that had written that one. But the handwriting's not mine, so it's almost definitely not me.
All right then. So,
Okay, so first one is 26 book. Second one is 9 bouquet. Third, 34 fish. 24 heart. And 10 scythe. And I'm
Yeah.
going to take a picture of it.
bouquet is a positive. 34 fish is positive, and 24 heart is positive. Now, 10 side is negative, and also 10 side can sometimes tell us we're actually dealing with machinery or something. So this could be a computer. If we have a boyfriend and we only know them from the computer, this can tell us if we've got this one coming up first with this one together. If I was going to dig deeper, I'd want to talk to this particular card. Why you're giving me a negative to the overall, yes, will I be successful in my hobby? And like the Lenormand is saying yes.
It's agreeing then. So saying yes.
Saying yes, yeah. Well, 3 cards saying yes.
Potentially very successful
Very, yeah.
creatively and emotionally, but you will need boundaries and focus.
Yeah.
Others. Main warning, the success comes when you treat it seriously and protect your energy instead of scattering it.
Yeah. It could be that the 10 side is actually talking about something to do with the actual question. I mean, although this card can say various things apart from no, talking about something to do with the actual hobby. Mm.
Will I get to change my job profession? Star sign Aquarius.
Oh, it's all yes or no. Okay, so 5 cards, please. Oh, wouldn't it be awful if you poor love?
Coffin, sigh,
Oh my God, it's
Cross.
none.
mountain, broom.
You're not going to get a chance at all. You're actually stuck.
Forever.
No, there could be lots of reasons why you can't change your profession because you need your mortgage relies on your the current position you're in, life, the rest of the world falls apart basically if you change for a bit. But to be asked, eventually they will, Leanne. Obviously they can't now because of various things. I mean, that was just a straight no.
AI definitely didn't agree with that.
Overall, yes, the cards support a career change, but not as an instant easy leap. It looks more like current role loses viability or satisfaction, prolonged obstacle period, then a clearing reset that moves you towards a more authentic direction.
Oh, they're kind, aren't they?
Very kind. Was coffin inside an ending and a decisive cut from the current path. Cross, mountain, and broom, difficult but meaningful transition. Obstacles first, then clearing out old structures and routines.
Interesting. Interesting to know who that was and if we could get a feedback on it, wouldn't it, really?
Okay, next question. What should I do with myself? Work, life, health, etc.
A 10 card Celtic Cross.
Sure. And the reason that you're doing that is because it will give you more information because there's a bigger deck. There's more
Yeah.
more words and sentences that can be constructed because there's more cards in a tarot deck.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shuffle the deck a bit because to cut out all the noise and think about the actual question. And then as I do, I'm going to carry on thinking of that question just so I don't get distracted and accidentally introduce a different nuance or a different question into what we're asking. Do you want to do the cross? Yeah.
We'll go with the Vincent Celtic Cross. So the first card is the actual issue, and the second card is what's crossing the issue. So in a way, it's kind of a hindrance. Third card is the card going that's below the actual read, saying that's what's happened in the past.
And just to be clear, the first card was the Four of Wands. The second card was the Page of Wands. Third card was the Nine of Wands. Lots of wands so far. Fourth card is
Pentacles, 5 of Pentacles.
sixth card.
Is a 6 of Cups.
Seventh card.
Seventh is 10 of Wands, which is going into the future as well. And the 5 of Pentacles means that they've had some kind of financial stress in the past, and that's in the recent past. And the 9 of Wands, which was actually the basis of the question, is another hard hitting card, from an ordinary Celtic cross to a Vincent Celtic cross. This card 7 is going to tell us what the real question is about. And so the question is, well, the cards are saying the question was probably, a relationship question. And so 4 of Wands, which is again, with the lovers.
So is that the difference between what they think they're asking or what they're really asking?
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what the 7th card in the Vincent release is what the question was really about. So now we know that the question was about some kind of relationship. So, and I was saying, Paul, I've kind of really gone through it. I've really gone through the mill, whatever this is. Let's do this. So, okay, so in the Vincent read, the 8th card is the timing. And that's where AI is going to come in really, really good because it's going to tell us exactly what the sign of that is. Because without me looking it up in the book, that could be the 3rd of the month or 3rd day or the 3rd something or other. And number 9 is the hopes and wishes. 10 is dog. And this card talks about happy families. So the fact that we're actually, the cards are actually talking about some kind of relationship or some kind of an affair, that's obviously been quite hard. But now in the hopes and wishes, it's giving us the 10 of cups, which is the happy family, basically. So the 10th card.
And don't do, oh, see.
Just give me the card. No. Is it worth the bother? So, and because we're actually, the cards are actually saying the question is to do with the lovers, and the actual original question was the 4 of Wands. They're saying that all this hard work that's been created, the cards are saying, so look at the whole thing. Is it worth it? Is it worth taking this forward?
I'm going to just quickly take a picture and I'm going to upload that to AI. And then I'm also going to get the card that it was written on the question,
Oh yeah, that's
which
what
is this one, isn't it? We're going to take a picture of that as well. And then we're going to go to our little AI tool. We're going to add them both. We just press go.
Oh, well, it's going to say what is a different view of what the cards are saying, because I'm saying what how I'm reading the cards. So if I'm reading a newspaper, I could be reading one set of words that a journalist has written, and that is from a Labour point of view, and you could buy a different newspaper. It's going to be from a far right view. And so basically, this is what we're doing: is we're kind of like looking at different views of the different ways we're interpreting different languages.
It also takes out the person's own preconceived ideas
Yeah.
and perceptions. AI will only use what it's been told.
Yeah.
So it's been uploaded,
Yeah.
the answers to these cards is going to use that information to interpret it. It's going to be a bit more.
Of on-offs, you know what I mean? It must be something that translates into words. Whereas as readers, we can actually see the right-hand side of the brain as well. So we could say, well, in actual fact, I would say that that's kind of taking you somewhere else.
The other reason I use it is because some members of the team like to go off on tangents, whereas AI makes it nice and concise. So AI has said the spread is very clear. You're carrying too much for too long, and the cards are pushing towards rebuilding life around meaning instead of endurance. And then it's saying your path is actually towards stability, home, emotional fulfillment, and peace. It's talking about collaborative work, teaching, mentoring, building. It's talking about reconnecting with what felt natural, joyful, and authentic before life became heavy. In the overall message, stop building a life entirely around obligations. It's about simplifying, reducing conflict, shifting work towards something collaborative, and prioritizing health and emotional peace.
So when we were saying that this card was saying, is it worth it? The AI is saying basically the same thing, but it's saying, is it worth it? Should we be looking at different things? Should we be prioritizing sort of things that are actually happening in our lives rather than happening or we're expecting to happen through some kind of culture, or we believe it's the way that our family told us that life should be, or we're entitled, some sort of entitlement.
The next question is, will I move house? And we're going to do it in top to bottom order.
Key is a yes. And 19 Tower is a neutral, but 19 Tower tells us there's some kind of government involvement. So whatever that is, we don't know what it is. 28 Man is also a neutral card, and 1 no. So do you want us to go a bit deeper?
Yeah, it's interesting you say government because it's ex-council. So that's funny. That's
well, we
interesting.
can go deeper.
Path. Tower, property, institutions, contracts, mortgages, formal processes. And there is a lot around mortgages right now, right?
Yeah.
A male figure is central to the outcome or decision. Delays, obstacles, slow progress, frustration. Positive final outcome, though, is satisfaction
Yeah,
with the
well, you've got
results.
the 9 bouquets at the end. So, like the AI says, it was kind of
Really. Yeah. Especially in terms of like thinking about like the mortgage and all of that sort of like side of things. I've just started, investigating, but yeah, I imagine that it will take time just because of the housing market at the moment is kind of like really up and down. And also me having to find, the other place and it's deal with another person. And so, yeah, yeah, it resonated.
Mm.
Yeah.
The mountain, which is a no card,
Mm.
because you've got two yeses, which said that you will. It's about a blockage of something. I mean, if you were talking about what does this person look like, I'd say that this person might be bald or, this person is tall or something. But in this particular question, it would say that there's something blocking the move. Probably.
Okay,
For
do
sure.
you want more details?
Yeah.
So next, let's get some clarification on some of that. Why don't you ask what you need to ask and we'll get the answer.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do for that is we're going to ask the tarot deck because it has a longer, more in-depth conversation.
Yeah, and it's a bit deeper as well. It's a bit more sensitive as well.
Yeah. How many do I pick?
What sort of things? Should we do Celtic Cross? Sure. Mm. Should we go with that Vincent Celtic Cross?
Yeah.
So the only trouble is when you get the seventh card that it tells us what the real question is.
That's okay.
And it's Nine the Hermit. And Nine the Hermit is actually quite a thoughtful teacher, actually. So it's quite mathematical as well. It's very clever. So we'll put that there. But we're going to find out what the question really is, what the cards think the question really is. Oh, and we've got the Three of Cups. So, and this is usually for me the party card. So, and because it's going on the top, it's going to tell us what the obstacle is. There might be some finances might be written things because we have to, basically, but it's something we'd prefer not to do. So that's a really end ring. And the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning. So we've got some energy because wands are. This is the Page of Cups. And pages are usually young, very young. And because it's the card that goes on the top of this Celtic cross, this Vincent Celtic cross, I would say that there's a young person involved in it somewhere along the line. We're going to go forward at an earth sign. Well, if we put it with the Ace of wands, we can see that this is going to go forward with an accounting acumen. So we're going to look at it. So we're going to look at the whole thing in a new light. Okay, so number 7 is going to tell us what this whole thing is really about. Look at the card without me saying anything. What the hell is it? The world. Yeah. That just happens to be somebody we know. He's saying that the timing is kind of like time has been separated because the hanged man is saying, hang on a second, regardless of the past, present, or future, we need a little gap. So this is saying, although it's in the timing position, this card is actually saying that it's kind of like a curtain, pulling the curtain apart between the past, present, and future, and saying, hang on a second, we're going to have a look at this. So there's no timing, there's no time as such. It's just as long as it takes, basically. So we're looking for a balance. I'd say there's been some kind of depression there as well. So we're looking at the Five of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Pentacles tells us that there's some financial sort of problems. So we're not saying, the cards aren't saying that the financial problems are going to disappear. But the thing is, because the cards are saying wealth, they're just asking for a balance, the balance upon life, or whatever they've been suffering. I mean, that card, sometimes comes up when people have been a bit depressed or a bit sad or whatever. But they're saying, although they're not looking for massive amounts of wealth, they're looking for stability. But the financial institution comes into it because that's what we live by in this world.
AI says this deeper spread says the move is tied to a much bigger personal transformation than just property. The current situation feels emotionally, financially draining or isolating. Long pause period, needing patience, adjustment, surrender, seeing things differently. Eventual completion, new chapter. This is a genuine life cycle ending and beginning.
Yeah.
Slow, steady progress, practical rather than dramatic movement. This really supports eventual success through persistence. However, you may need more balance between solitude and restoration and the supportive social connection. You cannot carry this entirely alone. So, overall, yes, your original question before this was your move still looks likely, but the cards say that the real transition is you. Your identity, your priorities, and way of living are changing first. So the physical move follows the inner shift, not the other way round.
The book, Secret Tarot and Lenormand Reader, came about after years and years of a tarot experience. It started when I was 17 and I'm nearly 70. So I've included some of the stories that were particularly poignant to me, and then actually talking about the tarot cards through some of the Greek references.
Mythology is actually within all the cards because, it actually goes back. So it even goes back as far as Moses, a lot of the cards. So hopefully I've actually managed to encapsulate
At least a little of the enormous wealth of information the cards can provide for us. We'll end with thanking you all so very much for joining us on our first podcast.
A helpful friend, holding the castle fort while you consider.